Hello, I'm Marcus V. Calvert, and welcome to Tales Unlimited, the disturbing thought of the day. This is a world building exercise, maybe for the evil GM, maybe for someone who wants to build that new franchise, a novelist who's tired of writing the generic fantasy tale. I got something for you. Mm. At the very least, I'm going to put this in there as a battery prompt. I'll explain battery later on. Okay, what's my logic? Narnia, Westeros, Middle Earth, right? What do they all have in common? They are fantasy worlds, established geographies. You got your races, you got your ethnicities, you got your magic rules. You have pasts and storylines and backstory and all that stuff. That's great. Okay, fine. Fast forward 3,000 years. And in that time span, someone invents gunpowder, engines, modern civilization springs up on all three of those worlds. What would it look like? Now, to not get sued and tell your own story, well, now if you're an evil GM, I would say, what if you took Dungeons and Dragons and aged it 3,000 years and you basically have modern day Earth? Just not Earth. Like, would elves be extinct 3,000 years ago 3,000 years from now because of a virus? Would some other race rule the world? You have nuclear weapons in this mystical present, in this time zone, this time frame, this timeline. How would you tell a story? Evil GM. Now, as a writer, I just have a slice of this. This is where this came from, by the way. Okay, you have a gumshoe kicking back in his office, reading the paper, and in walks a leggy, sexy elf chick. And of course, you have behind you the Venetian blinds. You're wearing the fedora. You got your suspenders. You got a gun in your desk, along with a bottle of whiskey. And you're trying to pay the bills. So this elf gives you this sob story, song and dance crap, and you're listening, and your gut tells you she's full of it. She's not telling you everything, but she's an elf. So you take the first payment and you say, okay, plus expenses because you have a drinking habit, and she maybe a drug habit. And she gives you a down payment and a flirty smile, and she walks out the door, and you take her money and you start the case. You figure, okay, I'm going to go to the diner, get something to eat, think on it, and you realize you're being tailed. Some heavies are coming to beat you up, and it turns into a foot chase, and it turns into such a foot chase that you have to go full centaur to get away. A centaur detective. Yes, yes, Pierce Brosnan did a centaur in that old Percy Jackson movie, the first one. Cool, don't get me wrong, but a centaur private eye. When have you seen one of those? It's probably been done, but yeah, that's what gave me the idea. Like, what if you took a fantasy world and dragged it kicking and screaming into the modern era? Like, okay, in World of Warcraft, if dwarves are the brilliant, smart bastards, what would they be like 3,000 years from now? Would they be extinct? Would they be would they have created a massive empire like the Romans, only to lose it? They got decadent, it declined, and now, okay, like modern day Rome. Okay, Rome's not all that. It's Italy. Yay, it's a cool place. It's a nice place to look at old buildings, but it's not what it used to be. The seat of imperial power throughout the world. Mirror modern Earth history, but put it on another world, different maps. I would actually have touches of Earth on it, but you literally make up your own crap. It is a world building nightmare, but if you could fight your way through it, oh, you could write books forever. You would probably have to do a Tolkien on this one. Sit down and have stacks of notebooks, and oh, probably drive yourself mad. But if you could tell it right so that it's relatable, oh my God, like Game of Thrones, right? What if the name Lannister still exists? The world's kind of like 1990s, but the name Lannister still exists. It's the eighth age. of men, or some gal with a, like a half pinch of Targaryen blood walks past some fossilized dragon eggs in the museum, and she looks at them and moves on. She's like 4, and they begin to hatch just because. And like, oh my god, the dragons starting to hatch. These dragons are dead. What? And the dragons start to hatch, and oh my gosh. Or you have a fantasy world that's in its 8th age, and there has not been magic in 3,000 years, and all of a sudden magic begins to creep back into the world. A world of gunpowder and high tech and hacking and all the other things that we see in our world. Only magic is creeping in. There's no great like shadow runny thing. It's just creeping in and creeping in and imposing and coexisting, or is it, with technology? Maybe someone's gone there, but I'm just like, what would happen if, like, you know how in Narnia, every time the kids leave and come back, time jumps? What if somebody stayed away from Narnia for 20 years and then walked through that wardrobe? What would it be like? Okay, I'm done. I am Marcus V. Calvert. This is Tales Unlimited, and that's my disturbing thought of the day. Please check out talesunlimited.net for more disturbing thoughts of the day or battery podcasts. And there are also books. Hit the links on any of them. They'll take you straight to Amazon, ebooks, print, normal set. Also, the battery series. It's 200 prompts, a little wisdom on writing. Basically, how to make money writing books before you finish your first novel. Also, it's good for people at all levels of the game. So if you're a novelist, cool. Take an idea and maybe do a whole series of novels on. If you're an evil GM, screenwriter, comic book designer, game designer, there's something in Battery for anybody. Also, short story anthologies, unheroic, unlikely hero saving the day, 25 stories to a book, something like, okay, a Marine gets shot in Iraq, falls down. Next words he hears are, "Welcome to heaven, you sorry sacks of meat." Wait, what? Or the Book of Schemes. You're a Yakuza guy. The boss sends you after his son, who sneaks off to this American college against his orders. You have to be very careful, though, because this is a college for supervillains, and you don't want to mess with them. Stuff like that. And then there's a novel series. Think Sin City with superpowers. Takes place after 99% of the world's superheroes get wiped out. Actually, it's 99.1, my mistake. And a guy who helped kill them off, his name is Benjamin Clyde, gentleman fixer, dude in a suit. Bit of a burger gut, high cholesterol, and if you pay him enough, he can make all your sins go away. What's his deal? He has the best mercs money can buy, experts in a variety of crafts, and he's the 8th deadliest man alive, until he's forced to give it all up, fire all of his people, kick off all of his money. They take the clothes from his back to make amends for something he did. And they say, okay, you're going to fight crime now. We're going to love seeing you in spandex. In a place worse than Gotham, you must fight crime every night for the rest of your short lifespan. Best of luck. Sits back with a cigarette and goes, okay. And that was in the first book. I'm working on the 5th. He has a flair for this sort of thing because he wasn't always a fixer. All right. I am Marcus V. Calvert. This is Tales Unlimited. I need more caffeine. Have a lovely day.